First of all, I would
Oh, every time so.
First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for your support. I know that every year that the congregation, everybody at the church is with us monetarily, is with us in prayer, and we really do appreciate the fact that everybody really participates. Even though 20 people went on this trip, I know that everybody in some way had an impact on what we did, and so we really do appreciate that. The whole team does. This was, to me, kind of a special year. I think everything went very well. We were able to build 3 homes this year. We had 2 work sites were right next to each other, and then we had a third just a couple blocks away. And our work sites were probably some of the best that we've ever had. So our job was actually a lot easier than it had been in previous years. We made good friends with the people, the families that were there. We were able to, we had kids pounding nails and family members pounding nails and doing everything with us at times. The work was really smooth. We didn't have any issues this year. And we did a couple other things that we hadn't done in the past. On a couple of nights, we took walks through the neighborhood of Tijuana. Tijuana is a very large city. I think it's over 3 million people. And just through our neighborhood. And I think it was the last night we were there. We were walking through, and we went into a park, and we were watching a group of young girls practicing flamingo dancing, and sat and watched them. We were able to clap when they were done, and the smiles on their faces. We kind of stick out. We don't really look like we belong. But that was neat. And then as we were walking, we had saw the night before in this building a bunch of ladies doing a Zumba class. And so on this night, they were walking into the class, and we struck up a conversation with them. Actually, one of them spoke very good English, and they invited us to join their class. So I did, and I won't do it here. So about 5 of us jumped in, not for the whole class, but for some of us made one song. Others stayed for a couple of songs and did that. It was just a lot of fun. Then after we left there, we were walking back. We were getting back to our compound, and there were some young men playing soccer, some boys playing soccer, and they invited us to play soccer with them. So the next thing you know, there was another half of a dozen of us trying to get schooled playing soccer with these kids that actually knew what they were doing. But it was a lot of fun. I think we got into the community a little bit more than just the families that we had done in the past. And at least for me, it was really special. So that's about it.
Thank you. Aaron.
Okay, so this year it was a lot different than most years, because all the women were on one team, so we learned a lot more than we would have normally. Okay, there was particularly this neighbor girl that she was there, and she was there every morning, and my dad worked with her a lot. And she helped all the time, and she was trying to learn English, and we were helping her learn English, and her dad spoke really good English, so that's true. And my hammer would disappear all the time, and I would look over it, and she'd be over with my dad with my hammer, and I could just never find it. And yeah, so it was a lot of fun this year. I learned I'm like a really good roofer now, girl. And yeah.
Let me emphasize that. She's a roof lady. You know what that means? She did the roof. The true testifier on any team is who gets up there at the end and tars and staples the roof, and she and Araya Harrell did the roof all by themselves. So this is a true So more and more stories. If all 20 were here, they would all have great stories. But I think when we go down, every year we have a delightful surprise. We know that we're going to take satisfaction in what we can give in terms of a house for a family without a house, in terms of our spirit and our energy. But we're always surprised by the fact that we actually receive more than we give. We receive back from the people their love, their friendship. They welcome us into their community in a variety of ways this year. So it's always a matter of receiving more than we give. a couple of interesting things happened. One afternoon, because we got through with the houses, as Dave mentioned, in record-breaking time. Actually, we were done with one by Tuesday evening, the other two by Wednesday noon. So we had time, and we went and visited some of the neighborhoods where we built houses in previous years, including last year's houses. We went to a neighborhood where we had built houses 10 years ago. And you know, you always hope that a house will be not just a house, but will really help stabilize a family and help them move ahead in the world. Well, we went to this house that had been built 10 years ago and trying to decide which one it was and so forth. And the family came out, and we recognized them. They were indeed the family that was living there. The mother's name was Salud, which means health. And they've continued, first of all, to be very active in the Lutheran Church in Tijuana. They're there every Sunday. The other thing that I remember, though, is that 10 years ago, when we were building a house, there was a little 9-year-old boy and then an 8-year-old boy that would be there. He was a 9-year-old. He was the same age as my son at the time. And he was a sweet little boy, and he'd help us out every day. Well, when we came back, he's now 19. 10 years have gone by. He's now 19. He's studying to be a doctor. His brother is studying to be a lawyer. In the meantime, Salud adopted 2 other young boys from a mother struggling with drug addiction who just couldn't care for them. So she adopted these 2 little boys into her family. So she's raising a family of 4. So it felt very good that in a small way, I mean, really it's a tribute to Salud and her family more than us, but in a small way we could give them a place. But again, in terms of receiving, one of the things I was aware of was such a testimony of faith. The people just were strong people with great faith that facing a situation of economic hardship without the things that we count on, oftentimes our sense of being at peace in the world, our sense of security depends on what's in our pension plan, and how's our house doing, and what's our salary. And those are important things. God cares about stability for us, so I'm not in any way diminishing those things. But we, again and again down there, met people without much of that, but were living strongly in the world as people of faith and caring for those around them. And so it was a real testimony. And then finally, the kids will be learning about the Holy Spirit this coming week. My experience again and again was how the Spirit of God unifies us all of God's people, without regard to what side of the border we're on, or what our nationality is, or what our skin looks like, or what language we speak. I think again and again when we were down there, we really felt united. We had to work through the words and the language, but we felt united, and it's a sign of God's Spirit joining us together. And in a world that's so broken and shattered in so many ways, it's a tremendous joy to feel one with people, and that's what the Spirit gave to us this week. So I want to say again what Dave started out by saying, thank all of you for your prayers, for the financial support through our social ministries committee and the Mexico dinner. Your contributions purchased all the building materials for us, helped us to rent the vans. Team members also have made a financial commitment and bought the plane tickets. So thank all of you for your ministry and the ministry we're doing together with the people of Tijuana and the Church of El Divino Salvador, the Lutheran Church in Tijuana. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And I also, anybody that hasn't gone and doesn't know what it's about, it has any inkling of doing it, I recommend it to anybody. And ask somebody that went. I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. And I know that anybody else on the team, it's so fulfilling. It makes you feel so good. I've gone 4 years now, and I'm already looking forward to next year.
Good. Thank you. We're going to